Okay, so now that this web page is saved to our computer, we're ready to view it in a web browser. So we're ready to see what it actually looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click or control click in my case, this area here, and you can see this little menu guy pops up. So if we look around, it looks like we have a couple of different options to have. We can copy the file path, we can reveal in the Finder, or we can open in browser. I'm just going to click this open in browser button. And cool, you can see that it opened up this web page that I have in the Chrome browser that I have ready. Awesome. So that means that this web page that we have, this Ken Mazeika right over here, this is exactly the same as sort of is being defined by this over here. Okay, so we're on our way to building an awesome web page. Let's keep going. Underneath my name, what I think would be cool is if I had sort of a title. So if I say something like Ken Mazeika, what am I? I'm going to call myself a web developer. So it says Ken Mazeika, web developer. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's jump back into the Sublime editor that we have over here, and we can see this Ken Mazeika here. So this Ken Mazeika inside the H1, I told you before, H1 is another name for a big headline. So what we want to do is we want to add sort of something else. So underneath this closing H1 tag, let's make some space. And between inside the bodies, so between this opening body and the closed body, yet also underneath this H1, why don't we make a new tag? So we'll do this less than sign, a P, and then a greater than sign. And then also, like we said before, whenever we open tags, we also want to close them. So I'm going to do this less than sign, this backslash, and then a P, and then do the greater than. And you can see like Sublime is smart enough now because we saved it to HTML. It knows what to do. So it's saying, hey, I'm going to indent you properly. So it just kind of moves things around and it's helping us out. Awesome. Okay, so inside these P's, between these, let's add the word web developer. So I'm going to add an enter here. Type web space developer, and you can type in whatever you think a title for you that sort of makes sense is. If you're a marketer, you can put that. If you're in sales, do that. Or if you're just like a hacker, you can put that in there too. So whatever you want to call yourself, put that in here. And let's save the file. So we do this Command S. Awesome. And now that the file's saved, let's go back and view sort of what it looks like. So I'm going to jump back into my Google Chrome over here, and we refresh the page, and awesome. So now, in addition to having it say Ken Mazeika, it also says web developer. So if we jump back over here, this H1 is the headline of the thing, which makes sense. It's sort of like the big thing screaming out at you. And then this P is just a paragraph. That's what the P stands for. So that's just sort of telling us this is some of the standard sort of type of content that we're going to want to have inside the page. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so if we go back to our web browser, we can see this. So it says Ken Mazeika, web developer, and I think what might be cool here is if I could have some sort of a bio of me. So it says Ken Mazeika, web developer, and then just sort of like a description about who I am, or in your case, who you are. So for mine, I'm just going to take it from a different web page that I've put it on before. So I'm going to open up a new tab and go to just firehoseweekend.com. And this is where we sort of have our website that's describing how we've taught people to code all over the place. So you can check this out here, but it also has a bio. So you can see down here, Ken Mazeika, I'm right here. I'm just going to copy over this bio. So you're going to have to write your own bio. Sorry about that. But I'm just going to lift mine because it's a little bit easier. Okay, so I'll jump back into the me.html, and then maybe we can put that bio that I just sort of copied into here. So what I'll do is I'll go back into the Sublime edit, and so we have this opening p tag, this closing p tag here, and this was all one paragraph. So let's make a second paragraph. So we have this closing p tag, and we want to make another opening p tag, and then a closing p tag. So we have this less than, p, greater than, and this goes right after the closing one. Make sure that it's in the right spot. And then we have this less than, backslash p, greater than. And all this stuff happens right before the closing body tag. Okay, so I'm just going to paste in what I have. So this is sort of a little bit of information about me. And I'm kind of a stickler about tabbing and indentation. So I'm going to make it sort of indented properly. And you're going to have to write sort of a quick little bio about yourself, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file now. So I do the Command S, and you can see that it's saved. And I'm going to go back into the web browser. So this is what it looks like here, and I'll refresh it. So I'm doing Command R. Awesome. So now we see sort of those three lines. We have the Ken Mazeka, the headline, the main thing, the H1. We have web developer, that's the title that we sort of said, and that's in the P tag. And then we also have sort of the bio, which is in a different P tag. Cool. So now we're sort of getting there. This is starting to look close to what we want to have. Let's do a couple more things. One of the things I want to do is maybe it would be cool if this web developer that we have sort of right under here, this web developer, or whatever title that you put in there, I think that would be cool if it looked italic. So let's kind of tweak this text and make it sort of look italic, so it sort of has a slant to it. So I'm going to jump into the Sublime editor again, and you can see this web developer right here. So you remember that these two things map up, right? We have this web developer here and this here, and basically all we want to say is, using HTML, how do we say make this thing italic? Well, it turns out they have a tag for this. So a tag is sort of the name for something like this P tag right here. So a tag is sort of the general sense of you have something that opens, something that closes, and it has some sort of meaning associated with it. So in this case, there's a tag called the I tag. So if we do a less than sign, the I, a greater than sign, and then we go to after the web developer, and we do this less than sign, a backslash, an I, and then a greater than. So this is just wrapping it in an I tag, which is going to make it italic. Okay, so I save this file, Command S, and I jump back into the web browser. We refresh this page. Awesome. Okay, so now it says Ken Mazeka, big bold text, web developer, italics, and then it's giving me a little bit more information underneath it.